Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of February 8th through the 14th. So happy Valentine's Day. And also, we have several moon energies that we'll be moving through this week. We have the waning gibbous that's kind of following us in from last week. And of course, that's a time of self-reflection and rebirth, a time to get rid of our bad habits and negative thinking. We then have the third quarter moon, which is a good time for it's when the things that we started on the last new moon start to come to fruition, and we start to see clearly, like, oh, this thing worked for me, this thing didn't work. What do I want, what kind of adjustments do I want to make, as we get ready to prepare here for the next new moon that comes about. So that leads us into the waning crescent, which is about its stability and calm, but it is that self-reflective time where we grow and learn, and kind of evaluate where we've been and start to make decisions about things that we might want to change moving forward. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Pisces. So as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is that it is time to take action. All right, let's see what the Pisces Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, my fun weekly reminder is that you try to take some time to meditate this week. The moon energies really do support this week. It's all this self-reflection. It's a good time for that. So if it's not something that you normally do, try to set yourself aside, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, if you can spare that time, and just quiet yourself, go within and still your mind and your body, and just go in and explore. So you might want to do some self-reflecting while you're there. And if not, just try to empty your mind, just and use it as a relaxation thing if you want to, but just explore, see what happens for you. So that's my fun weekly reminder. Let's get into this reading for Pisces, February 8th through the 14th. It's time to take action. Your present energy is the Hierophant card. So maybe some of you are having some sort of spiritual awakening with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about guidance many times in a spiritual way. Sometimes this can be more traditional, the more traditional route of spirituality, about conformity and tradition, that sort of thing. But it is about ritual. It's about, dedicating ourselves to doing things like meditation, to finding those ways that are making a commitment for ourselves to grow in a spiritual way. This could be why you're at a tarot reading. You might be watching my channel or looking for other tarot readers that speak to you. So if you are, welcome. I hope this reading finds you well, and I hope you get something out of it. But yeah, it looks like if you're on some sort of new spiritual quest, or you've had some sort of awakening, it is time to take action. And there's several ways to do that. If you want to come back to this channel, that's a lot of things I talk about here. So let's see. Your current situation is the Page of Cups. So you're having a sense of humor about this, and it's making me laugh because when I think about spiritual awakenings, it's not just one, it's many things. And some of those things are hilarious. Sometimes I've had synchronicities happen that have been part of my transformation and awareness and awakening. It's like an awakening. Like I said, it's not just one thing that happens, it's many things. And some of those synchronicities have made me laugh. So, like, you can't even make this up. It's just, so if you're in that, and I understand that card coming out so well, because there's some things that just happen. It's like, how that can even, a sitcom person couldn't even write that. So if you're laughing about something like that, it's okay. Some of these things are laughable because it just seems so incredible that a thing has happened. So I can completely relate to that. I'm going to grab a drink here. Okay, Pisces, at the root of this situation for you is the Hermit card. And I'm laughing again because you're doing this inner searching. And so I do feel like there's probably some catalyst that has come in, and it is making you, these are cards of seeking, guidance and information, but this is also seeking your inner wisdom. So the hermit is really, I imagine the hermit on the couch with a book, reading something, or just going within, doing that meditation. The hermit's light here is only lighting his next step. It's not lighting weeks and months ahead. It's just the next thing. What is the next step I need to take? So, and each awakening is kind of a new thing. If you're learning something and you want to adopt it, I'll use this example. I have this bracelet on right here, and I went and found this bracelet this week because there was something that I was learning, and I use jewelry in a way like that just to remind me. This could be the fact that I may have adult ADD, I'm not sure. But when I learn a thing, I like to have a reminder. So this bracelet is a reminder. It's something I'm learning and working on this week. So you may want to do that. You may just, finding a little trinket or something that's either sitting on your desk or something you're wearing. But when you have a big lesson and you want to adopt either a way of being or work that information into your daily life, something that's a good reminder like that. Some people use post-it notes or whatever, but I find that jewelry and things like that work. Seeing things that are tangible and that I can see constantly. Like this has just been on me, and I've been trying to, if I encounter this thing that I'm trying to change, I'll just remember that that bracelet's there. It kind of helps me. So just my advice for you might be something you might want to try. All right. I don't know why I was talking about that in your recent past here, Page of Wands. So this could be something that you've discovered that is kind of a new passion for you, that you're, and I get the feeling that you might even be a little surprised. Like, I didn't think this would be something I would really be into. And you are. And it's like, wow, but it's nice. It's a good, it's fun to watch your life change and grow, as you mature and as you learn things. I always recommend keeping a spiritual journal for this reason, because you look back and it's like, oh, wow, I learned this thing 10 years ago. And look how it's changed my life, that I've adopted that into my life. So, and again, your card is it's time to take action. So let's take some action here. What's on your mind this week is feeling a little bit like an outsider. So maybe you are choosing something of a it could be either a non-traditional path if people around you are on more of a traditional path, or it could be the opposite. It could be that more people around you are on a non-traditional path and you're choosing a more traditional path. Guess what? They all end up in the same place. It's fine. Take the path that you need to take for you, and whatever just feels right to you. You'll know it when you feel it and when you get there. What is just ahead of you this week is the Ace of Swords. So, an aha moment, some sort of breakthrough. I like all of this reading. I love that you're seeking, I love that you're questioning, that you're feeling like an outsider with this too, that you feel it's a little weird, it's weird. It's like stepping into new water. It's like, what is this that I'm doing? So, but you're going to have some sort of breakthrough this week. And I like that for you as well. In your advice position is the Strength card. So we're going to be strong through all of this, um, be tough, be strong. And this is really inner strength. This is about, taming the beast without, but also the beast within. So it's really about just knowing that you're strong enough to handle whatever this is. And even hopefully you are laughing through it, because it is kind of funny when you think about it. What is beyond your control this week is the Moon card. This is perfect. Beyond your control is that something intuitively. Whatever this thing that happened, intuitively what it means, and intuitively that you have to take some kind of action about it. You can't just let this thing happen and then go, oh, well, that happened. No, things like this happen, and they're bigger than most, to change you, to make you have this awareness, so that now you're going to live your life in a little bit different way. We're all learning and growing, all at different paces. There's no levels. I know some people like to think, there's levels of consciousness or awareness, and I just feel like I know this thing because I've learned it, but that doesn't make me any higher or lower than the next person because they've learned a thing that I haven't learned yet. And they're, so, but intuition is a big part of it too. You intuitively know that you have to do something with this. It's not just something that happens and you just ignore and go, oh, it changes you and it makes you live your life differently and better, I will say. What is your secret desire? What are you trying to avoid? Knight of Cups. So is it your secret desire to kind of move forward in an open, emotional type of way? I mean, we had this Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is kind of like I see the page as like our Joker. That's why I laughed, because it's probably something funny that has laughed at you. This is, the night's about action. So, and this would be, are you moving forward kind of with your cup open, like kind of ready for anything, or are you trying to avoid that? So that'll be your big question this week. Are you ready for some change, or are you not ready for change? And honestly, it's up to you. Different Pisces will answer that question in different ways and take different paths. So you just have to find that for yourself. In your outcome position, is feeling a little bit like you against the world with this Seven of Wands. How many other numerological things going on? So, and that's, that's kind of like feeling like a fish out of water a little bit. And that happens, any fish out of water. Isn't that funny that I said that with this particular fish, literally out of the water? Um, that happens with that kind of change. Things that come about, and this, I mean, it's in your sign, Pisces, right? So, but you're feeling a little bit like, how do I do this? So, your first card here was the Hierophant. Seek guidance on this. There are people out there. Again, it could be why you're at a tarot reading. Listen to my readings. You might find other tarot readers that speak to you as well. There's probably some numerology things. That's something that I find as a tool. Also, the Moon card, which is trusting your intuition, but also just kind of watching the signs and being open to see things like synchronicities and that sort of things, where you're going to see numbers. You might see words that pop out, like just on a billboard, or you might overhear things on the radio, overhear conversations. The universe is always speaking, and once you start to understand and see and hear that language, it's like a whole other world opens up to you, and there's just some guidance there for you. Let's see what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck. Is the Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups is about understanding in her realm, and this would be, understanding all of these emotions, and maybe you just don't yet. You might be, kind of, again, feeling like an outsider, seeking advice, feeling like this. We've got the six in this is feeling like an outsider, that's feeling like you against the world. So, and sometimes you do kind of have that, an awareness can bring up, it's kind of an uncomfortable thing, because you do feel like you've cracked a code, right? And you're like, no one else around me has cracked this code. And you start seeking out like other people that have also cracked the code. So, and they're out there, so keep looking for them. So Pisces, this has been a very interesting reading for you. I love that. I feel like you are going through some sort of awakening. Keep doing that inner searching, keep seeking out guidance and information. It's all over the place, and you'll find that things just fall into your lap naturally. It's the things that you need to know. So I love that for you. Let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final word for Pisces is revive the dormant. Love that. This could be thoughts and feelings and things that you've had previously, and maybe your life's just been too busy to really um, go down this route. And now you have that time, you have the luxury of that. So go ahead and do that if it's something that's been dormant within you and something has awakened that. That's what these awakenings are literally about. All right, let's get a final self-care card. What does Pisces need to do in the way of self-care for the week? And the card that you get is the card called Growth. Evolution starts when you leave your comfort zone, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is definitely what an awakening is. These feelings here where you feel like, is anyone else relating? Does anyone else, and you might feel like the cheese that stands alone, but I assure you there's other cheeses out there. So Pisces, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with this, because I love this reading. I love that you're having this awakening. And I can feel it. It's exciting for me. It feels like a lot of fun. So I'm glad you're here. Drop me a comment down below if you're comfortable sharing. Let me know, what was the funny thing that happened during your awakening. If you're comfortable sharing, I'd love to hear all the different answers from all the different Pisces collective on this next layer of your awakening. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will get you back here next week, where you can come back and we can see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So thanks so much, Pisces. Good luck with all of this, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.